Life. Hope that y'all are doing all right out there. Let me turn on my lights. Let's start the action. Let's start the party, and let's get going this evening. How's everybody doing though? How's everybody doing? How's everybody smelling? Hope that my signal works all right, and I hope that my webcam does not disconnect this time. This I'm not going to be very careful to not touch that cord, as to not lose the webcam, which happened last time. So sorry about that, my friends. I'm sorry that happened, and I'm going to try to make sure that never happens. Okay, before we jump into everything that we do during these lives, y'all know exactly what happens. We talk about the new fragrance releases. We go over a topic, and I have a big topic. I did want to mention. I wanted to ask, hey there, Casey. Let's have some fun. Yes, we're here. Let's have a party. Let's have a good time. But I want to ask again, maybe adding a little bit of a fuel to the fire in a good way. I think Mr. Smelly's a pretty cool guy. But what do y'all think about Mr. Smelly? I was just actually watched his live a little bit just a second ago. He was doing a live, and I had called my lives here, on Saturday nights, Saturday Night Lives, essentially fragrance style, and he was on here. He's might be live still right now. He was just on a couple seconds ago. What do you think about him? I mean, I guess we can all be on at the same time. It doesn't matter. But do you think that people should take liberties with people's space if somebody has a tradition in the fragrance community? I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Let me know. Casey, again, good to see everybody's popping in. Randy says hi, everyone. Yes, we're a fragrance family, and thank you, Randy, for being a part of it. Thank you for being here. Casey says, I don't know about Mr. Smelly. Is he ripping off your stick? Or how you? I never know exact. I sometimes say that rhyme stick, shick. I say it wrong, say it right sometimes. But anyways, I don't know. I see people, and sometimes they try to push people's buttons subtly. You see people try to push people's buttons, and because people do that, and it's kind of a part of people, so maybe our culture. I don't know if it's a Western culture thing. I've kind of joked and maybe done it kind of subtly in a nice way, but I think Mr. Smelly knows that I do these at 6 p.m. on Saturday nights, and I think most people in the Fragcom, if they are a part of Fragcom, if they actually care to, if they understand and be a part of the fragrance community at all, and they're not just an influencer just throwing out videos or whatever, I think they're very aware that this is what I do. So I don't know. Nothing against Mr. Smelly, but I don't know. Sometimes you wonder, what are people thinking? Like, why would you do this? Why would you be on when when I'm on? So Judd the Stud says, hey hottie. Well, thank you, my friend. I guess I'll take all the compliments I can get, I guess. But thanks. We won't get into that topic too much, but I've never felt like I was personally that attractive. And then I've had a few experiences where people have kind of tried to suggest that I was, or thought, I guess people assume that attractive people know that they're attractive. I don't think I'm terribly attractive, but I must have been attractive to some people here and there. And I'm not trying to boost my ego. I still don't think I'm that attractive. But anyways, I do have a little bit of the young curse. I do have a little bit of that. So I was carded at 28. So, and again, I wasn't even buying alcohol. I was just buying some medicines and stuff. I think it was a Walgreens or CVS, something like that, for my brother because he was sick. So anyways, Judd the Stud says, just sprayed on a bunch of Roger Elysium. I emptied the little 3 ml sample going to ride my one wheel. It's a mass appealing fragrance. That's a top seller at the boutiques. It's one of the most mass appealing fragrances. A lot of people have said pretty good things about it, especially in the past, and it is pretty fantastic. The biggest downfall is the performance. If that thing gave you 8, 9, 10 hours for how mass appealing it is, it would be in big competition against the likes of Sauvage, possibly even Aventus. It would be up there with Blue de Chanel with the popularity. And if you haven't tried it and you like mass appealing fragrances and you want something really easy to wear that's niche, I still think it's a bit expensive for what it is, but it might be worth trying for you. Again, I've always said that it's kind of like an Aventus top with a Blue de Chanel dry down. Some people don't seem to agree with me. I really don't care. Some people have heard that I've said that, or maybe they watched my reviews. I'm pretty confident that that was their inspiration, or that's was some intention behind the fragrance. Does it smell exactly like that? Not exactly, but that's pretty much what it is. So, Randy says, wearing Shameless. I have not tried the new Shameless. When did that one come out from Happy Land? Home for the Holidays is really great. Cravat Noir was pretty good. They've had Happy Land made some good ones. I thought Blue Fire was pretty original. If you like Cape Heartache from Imaginary Authors, you're definitely going to like that one. Fritz the Cat says, hello. Judd says, meow. Well, what can I say? Ronald says, evening. Yes, everybody, welcome. Happy fragrance evening to everybody. Thanks for popping in. Says, evening, scent of the night, a Chanel pour Monsieur EDP. Fantastic fragrance. That's one of the best, in my opinion. Fougères. Maybe it's considered more of a modern fougère to some people. Not really sure. I don't. When did that one come out? I know there's been reformulations of that one. I don't know. Every one that I've tried, I've liked. So Pour Monsieur still fantastic. I think that one's kind of hard to get now. You have to order it from the official website of Chanel, but still worth trying. So Roger Roger Dove Elysium is good. Yeah, it's good. It just doesn't perform like it should. So if you have the money and you like a mass appealing fragrance, maybe you're not a stickler for performance, might be worth checking out. Mr. Smelly just put me on his live stream. Well, good to see you, I Smell. Thank you for popping on over here. Did he end his stream, or is he still live? And again, I don't have anything against Mr. Smelly. I was just curious, maybe why he was on at this time, and maybe he's testing this idea. When I do these, I don't get a ton of views, so I'm not really doing this for the views. I'm just doing this for the sense of community. But I don't know. Maybe Mr. Smelly is trying to build up the sense of community. I don't know if it's going to get him views. I don't know if that's his intention. So we'll have to see. But he's a cool guy, and it's fun to see him come down to earth with some of us, like Joey Cannoli, and some of us who kind of do this thing. So, yeah, good to welcome you, I Smell. Fritz the Cat says hello. Yes, we're all together. Casey says, Mont Blanc Starwalker today. Hey, that's really easy going, fresh, easy to wear. And I still think, yeah, you can find it for a cheapy designer, a good discounted price. It's a very easy going, likable fragrance, Mont Blanc Starwalker. It's actually pretty good if you don't want to spend a lot of money, and also if you want to smell really good, and you don't want to maybe wear it Nautica Voyage or something like that. It's just a likable, easygoing fragrance. I Smell says, "Yeah, bro, he better put me in the the sexiest reviewers video of the fragrance community." Yep, gotta stick it to him, man. That'd be fun. Casey says, I was surprised you said that Guerlain IDL had weak performance. Guerlains have always been beasts, last so long. Yeah, I wasn't trying to say it was weak, but I was, some people were saying that maybe it was fairly strong. I was getting about 6 hours out of it, maybe average or so projection. It did have some sillage though, but that's not bad. I was just saying it wasn't terribly strong, and I don't know. Some people seem to, I don't know, kind of push that it or suggest that it has really strong. Maybe it's just my skin. I don't know, but it's distinct. It's noticeable. It's not bad. So, anyways, the fragrance topic of tonight. Are y'all ready? Again, feel free to ask me questions. Lead the discussion if you'd like a little bit. But I do have a topic tonight, and before we jump into it, my scent of the night is Suede et Saffron. I think that's how you say it, from Nichane. I'm about to put an unboxing on my Instagram, and I'm going to try to work and get that review out for y'all during the fall. I don't want to spoil the review, but I will let y'all know that it's a little bit more of almost an aromatic, almost more of a transparent very version. It's a little bit different, but it's similar to Tuscan Leather. I was expecting that it might be, and if it was similar to Tuscan Leather, I was hoping it was going to be a lot, like, really, really strong and really potent. But it's not. It's not bad, but it's not what I expected. So that'll be an interesting fragrance review. There'll be a few pluses and a few pros and a few cons for sure. Judd says, "What do you think of Halston Man Amber?" I think I've tried that one. That one's it's kind of got a gold bottle, if I remember right. It's been a while. Did I try the amber? I think I might have just tried the original. The original was like a woody fougere. I don't know if I've tried the amber, honestly. Is that one still available? I know that that was a really good hidden gem that was fairly affordable for a while, and I think that that one has disappeared. So, anyways, feel free to jump in here, share your sense of the day, and ask questions. I love that. I love the interaction. So our topic tonight, before we get to the the new fragrance releases and all that, is not to give up Fragcom. You saw that in the title. That's why you're here. Casey says, I bought the two Hillstone gently. I don't like them. Oh, you didn't enjoy those. Well, sorry that they didn't work for you. The Halstons, yeah. So I've seen some love for them, and some people don't. But they're fairly popular. You should be able to, I don't know, trade them or sell them on eBay. Anyways, the topic tonight is not to give up Fragcom. I see some people who they have been doing individual fragrance reviews, working their heart, putting out their passion, building up a community. Some people don't even desire to be big fragrance reviewers or big influencers, and that's fine and that's good and that's dandy. But I see some people who sometimes get discouraged, and I've been in this boat a few times, and we're not going to talk about the same thing. This is encouragement for all of us because sometimes we don't know how much influence we have. So I'm going to give a quick shout out. I know he's controversial. I know some people don't like him. And but he says some things that do need to be said. Original Dogman talked about how fragrances needed to be toy like, or somebody needed to release a fragrance of that sort to appeal to a certain audience for marketing, and it would make a great. I would tack on there and make a great gift for nephews, and bring out the inner child of some people. I've seen some people say that they liked it that way, and he talked about that, and he talked about some of the things he wanted to see in the industry. And somebody as small, and some people say controversial, and some people say no company and no brand would ever pay attention to Original Dogman. Well, Paco Rabanne paid attention to him, and what do we have here? We have Phantom. It looks like a little a little toy from a Disney movie. It looks like Wally. And that's what we got, or Big Hero 6, something like that. And we got a toy-like fragrance, and there's no doubt in my mind, absolutely not, that Original Dogman helped with that. Again, I helped build up Ormond Jane with their fragrance Mon Tobacco, and then we got flankers of that. I got the fragrance community onto that. I can't take all the credit in the world. There's plenty of fragrance reviewers who have been much more influential than me. I'm not trying to hype myself up, but the Fragrance Runner talked about pumpkin in fragrances. Paco Rabanne also listened and made a slightly pumpkin-inspired fragrance. I've talked about needing to be more tropical fragrances, and I hope that in the future more brands will maybe mix in things like watermelon and lychee and more mango and more tropical notes, especially into their summer fragrance releases, which is something we desperately want, and I think a lot of people would enjoy in the designer fragrance world, which sometimes feels pretty stale sometimes with some of these really mass appealing tonka, musk, and blue shampoo-esque fragrances. And for the ladies, sometimes they're just like rose and certain other florals. I think that there's huge opportunity with these fruity notes, to change up the fragrance game. I don't know why we don't see as many of these fruity notes in fragrances that can give such an interesting twist on fragrances and make them really likable as well. I think a lot of people like fruit. I mean, hey, fruit is likable. It smells great, and we should be more in fragrances. Anyways. Again, I think a lot of us in the fragrance community think that we don't have influence, or that maybe we're being forgotten about. YouTube, it's a funny platform, and if you do want to get the views, as we know, you got to play top tens. You got to play up to the attractive lady type of thing, and that seems to be the kind of thing that works. But I'd encourage more people in the fragrance community, instead of doing something like that, develop your personality. Gain confidence, put yourself out there, maybe make yourself uncomfortable, doing different types of videos, recording yourself in different styles, and develop who you are in your confidence, and maybe develop a little bit sense of community, or some style of a certain joke. And I'm very guilty of not not putting enough editing into my videos, but so there's plenty of people who could do that and run the show. So, anyways, YouTube is a funny place, so take that into consideration because YouTube, um, we the viewers really don't control who becomes popular anymore by views. YouTube likes to pretend like it's YouTube who determines who is popular and who gets the views, and you get suggested what you like. I want to bring this up as a part of this topic tonight because I recently saw that I was subscribed to somebody. I don't want to even mention who they are. They probably don't care. They had like 9 million followers, and I don't remember following them. I have no intention to follow them. I don't remember ever watching one of their videos, and I really would never watch one of their videos. Not saying they're a bad person. I'm not going to say who they are, but they're a big YouTuber with 9 million followers. And I genuinely think from my heart. Maybe I accidentally pocket dialed, or some people say but subscribed to him accidentally. I think I was automatically subscribed, and I have been automatically unsubscribed from other people that I watch, and it seems that YouTube doesn't like on their platform. So we YouTube doesn't allow. It's going to really pick who wins and who doesn't win to some degree, but that's why I'm curious if y'all think that what we should do on YouTube. Should we move to other platforms? Should we do other things? As y'all can tell, if you've been paying attention, I am creeping up, getting closer to 10,000 on Instagram. Instagram likes me, and I like the community on Instagram, and it seems to be a lot more fair. So it doesn't seem like a lot of growth, but sometimes I can grow 20 followers a day. And that doesn't seem like the biggest growth, and it's really not the biggest growth. It's really not a lot of followers, but I get like 60 a month or maybe less here on YouTube sometimes. I'm and I'm getting I think I have almost like 800 odd videos, so I don't even get like, what is that? I don't even get like I don't even get 5 subscribers per video. So there's something funny happening on YouTube, and I've talked about that. Anyways, I wanted to encourage y'all to not get discouraged and to build and to do what you want to do and have fun with it, and more people to join the fragrance community. We had a big growth at the beginning of the year. A lot of new faces, a lot of new people came into the community, and I've encouraged some people on Instagram. And I think I'm going to make a video dedicated to some of the people on Instagram who have big potentials if they put their personality on the YouTube scene. Maybe they would be more personable, likable, presentable than me. I know that I need a haircut. Anyways, I don't know if that does much to my channel. But anyways, let me know, what are some of your thoughts? Let me catch up with the comments. Anyways, I wanted to put out a word of love for some people who feel like they're underappreciated. And there's no doubt that there's people who are feeling that way, because there's some of these people who have put years into this passion. They have tons of knowledge. They might know just as much, if not more, than I do. And somebody comes around and they keep doing the top 10 sexiest videos. And there's a person in particular who's probably going to hit 100,000 subs soon. And I guess that's what people want to watch. I guess that's what the young guys are watching. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what else I should say about that. So let me catch up with the comments. It says, yeah, bro, puts me in his. Okay, I read that. Casey Jones. I read that. What do you think? I read Halston Amber. Try a Jovan Secret Amber. I'll try to check it out. Jovan does have some nice musk, and for the price, they're actually not bad fragrances. I got the NRG, which is like their fresh ginger, clean ginger fragrance. Actually, not a bad fragrance. I did a little bit of a review for that one. They had a special on Amazon. And for a while, maybe it was like 2 weeks or something, you could get that one. It's a small bottle. I think it's like a 30 ml. Something like that, but it was only $5.99. It's actually one of the cheapest deals in fragrances I think I've seen in a long time. Casey says, Gent Sense is the king of Fragcom. The Fragcom Mountain right now. Jeremy has been defeated. I have no doubt that Gent Sense is probably growing faster, especially in organic growth. Again, there's always been that question: is Jeremy's views organic? And I don't want to get into the controversies he's been through, but he regained or got back tons of followers when he lost a couple of points. He lost Jeremy Fragrance lost almost half, or at least a fourth of his viewership, his subscribers. And over 2 weeks or so, the numbers were boosted up, and it looked like nothing had ever happened. So yeah, no doubt about it. I think that there's people who might possibly dethrone Jeremy, especially with the trends and what's been going on. And Jeremy knows that with certain top tens work, I don't know. Maybe he needs to start talking about the sexiest fragrances and doing back-to-back videos. If he doesn't, with this algorithm and what YouTube is doing, it seems like that's what you have to do if you if you want the spotlight right now. So Judd the Stud says, "All right, no other reviewer is watching this, so let's talk about fragrance." Yes, we will. We'll get to talk about the new fragrance releases. Is that's what you want right now? Yeah, collaborations do work. Sharing each other's audiences and supporting each other that way. You got to find the right people who you identify with. Again, I'm not going to name who they are, but I didn't request them. They actually did a request when I was doing lives regularly on Instagram. And this guy said some of the most terrible things to me imaginable. And it really made me not want to even deal with any other type of fragrance reviewer really for a month. I didn't want to talk or see anybody in the fragrance community because I don't know if I looked up to this person. I wouldn't say I thought of him as a father figure or anything, but he was one of the originals that I kind of cared about. And he said some of this stuff out of the blue to me. I didn't even try to argue with him. Maybe I should have, and maybe I should have made drama out of it. But I just let it go, and it's the world's crazy. That's for sure. So, anyways, y'all ready for the new fragrance releases? Hopefully, there's going to be some new, exciting ones to talk about this time. But, anyways, did y'all like my encouragement for the fragrance community? I think that there's so much wonderful styles of reviewing that we could see, and again, I say this because there's some people who are suggesting, or who have seemed to suggest that reviews in the old school sense are no longer important or good. And again, I'm not sure if that's exactly what they meant, but reviews will always be important. You can go out there and there are reviews of computer products, video games, foods, mustard, mayonnaise, hot sauce, anything, and people watch it and people want to get or want to be told valuable information that is helpful. So reviews will always be, like I do, will always be important, but the style of how you do the actual review is what's important. And if you have a personality, and if people want to come and see your personality, maybe I'm not the most likable person. I don't know. I try to be, but anyways, let's catch up with some of the comments. And I do have the Fragrantica pulled up now. So no, I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not trying to, I try to unify people because that's another thing that could start a bunch of fights. This person knows who they are and what they think and what kind of messages they're putting out there. I'll just say that there's a lot of people out there who carry some very damaging ideologies for themselves and other people. And they're not very happy that, I guess, you would try to succeed as an individual or to have any type of success. And it says, does it worth to spend $220 for Creed Virgin Island water or Aventus cologne? It really depends on how much money you have and how much you like the fragrance. If you like it, wear it, as I've always said. I think Aventus cologne is not a great fragrance. I think you can get Napoleon cologne by Zoha, or maybe even some of these clones like Club de Nuit Intense, and they would smell just as good for a far cheaper price than Aventus cologne. I would not mess with that one personally. Virgin Island water is nice, but the performance is just, it should be twice or three times as strong. It's just not it's a pretty weak fragrance. But Virgin Island water is very enjoyable, and it is more of a tropical fragrance, which I've talked about we need in the world. And again, I'm going to try to make my own fragrance company. And that's definitely one of the things I'm going to bring to y'all. I'm going to bring y'all amazing tropical fragrances. Jamie says, thoughts on Xerjoff Neo? If I remember right, that was fresh and kind of cucumbery in a way. If I remember right, it was really nice. It didn't perform that strongly on me, or maybe it was just more of a transparent smell. It's very clean. It's kind of sheer. It's kind of cooling as well. I'd have to look up the notes. It's been a while since I've tried it, but it is good. If you're looking for a very complex fragrance, it's not complex. It's more easygoing. And again, it feels like, to me, it has the smell of like if you put a cucumber in the refrigerator and you broke it in half, and that fresh, cool water that comes off of a cucumber. That's what it kind of reminded me of. That cool kind of it's not green like tomato leaf note or anything in fragrances, but it has something like that. So Casey says tropical fragrances are difficult, tough. Yeah, it's tough to get performance. Yeah, the notes are fleeting and the quality. Yeah, I'm sure it's hard to get the quality. Neo is a cucumber against pepper, not good. Yeah, some people don't like that cucumber vibe. Again, it doesn't smell exactly like cucumbers, but it certainly reminded me of a cucumber. And then some people, yeah, saying it's peppery. So if you like the idea of a fresh fragrance, I guess it depends on how much pepper you like. Some people say it's really peppery. There's what was it called? Galloway by Parfums de Marly. There's a few fragrances like that if you're looking for a high end, like a classy, I guess, clean fragrance. Again, I would lead you to something like Reflection Man. That one has been hyped and has hit tons of top 10 lists for a reason by Amouage. Reflection Man, very easygoing, very easy to enjoy. Still great to today. Performance should be better. I do think Amouage should boost up the performance on it a little bit, but it's still pretty good for what it is. Casey says Bond number 9, O'Day New York is the best tropical fragrance. I've been hearing good things about that one. I need to try that one. I need to give Bond number 9 a chance with some of their newer fragrance releases for sure. Grapefruit citrus, but it has it has the longevity, so it does perform. It does have the longevity. That's good to hear. So I'll try to get my nose on that one and check it out. So let's get to the new fragrance releases. Let's see what we got on our hands, if there's anything interesting. Again, for the people who are here, loyal and dedicated, I do want to say, sorry for yesterday when I touched my connection, my little wire to my webcam, and I got disconnected. And there's no easy way to refresh or reconnect my webcam. But we actually covered just about all the fragrances anyways, or anything we need to talk about, because there wasn't honestly too many new releases to talk about last week. So it wasn't too bad. There's a new brand coming out called Otto Kern, a fragrance called Ultimate Black. Don't know about that one. Let's see if there's anything new. There's a new brand come out called Semi Andreas fragrances, a whole line. I don't know where you can get those. Don't know if they're any good. I do see one. We do got to look at the notes. Bruno Fazzolari. As y'all know, I do like this house. If you are looking for something Aventus-like but different, Lamp Black from Bruno Fazzolari certainly is worth trying. It's nice. This one called Pantome. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say that. Has top notes of bergamot, grapefruit, mandarin, orange, neroli, magnolia, cedar, labdanum, and oak moss. Notes seem fairly simple, and it's going to be categorized as a chypre, is what they're saying. So I don't know if this is more of an everyday, easygoing fragrance. The notes are making me think that it might be inspired by this trend of modern semi, chypre or fougere, modern trend like H24 by Hermes, something like that. So maybe Bruno Fazzolari is trying to jump on that bandwagon a little bit. Maybe it's going to smell Eau Sauvage like. I don't see rosemary or anything like that in there, but we'll have to see. It might be good. It might not be particularly exciting. So there's some new fragrances. Mega Cosm. The fragrance is actually upside down. The cap is like a pedestal for the fragrance, and it looks like a globe or a planet. I do want to look at one of these, just look at the notes to see if they're interesting. We'll look at that here in a second. Let me catch up with the comments. Casey says, Encre Noir reminds me of Zegna, New York. Dark but nice. Encre Noir is good. Again, I don't want to say anything against it. It is a little bit daring for some people. Some people loved it so much they just said good things about it, and then It is a little bit more of an inky vetiver fragrance. It's great quality. It's a great value for the money. But for people who are wanting really mass appealing, easy to wear fragrances, it might be a little bit risky. But Encre Noir is still a great fragrance out there. Absolutely worth checking out, especially if you're wanting to put dabble into something a little bit more risky or for not a lot of money, and you know that you're going to at least get something quality on your hands. If you happen to not like it, I'm sure you could sell it and not lose too much on it if you buy it from discounters, because somebody out there probably wants a backup bottle or wants a bottle of it. So Casey says Zegna Shanghai is like Mont Blanc Emblem, dryer sheet freshy. That sounds nice. Don't know if I need that in my collection, but sounds nice. Casey says, do you think I'm not going to talk too much about anything like that, but as we know, it has things like that. It's definitely slowed down the economies of the world and production. And, a lot of these companies are waiting for the economies to get better. And people are likely, we buy a lot of things online from discounters. We're fragrance reviewers that way, and we look for the best deals, and we buy and we trade and deal with things like in fragrance groups and eBay and stuff. But a lot of people, I don't know if it's the majority, it probably is the majority of fragrances. I'm still guessing, even though everything's going online, people still want to be able to test fragrances, and not every person is willing to risk a blind buy. So I still think that the majority of people still buy fragrances in person in boutiques, especially when you get that experience of going to a fancy store in a fancy location and somebody tells you about the fragrance, and you can see and trust the company and trust what you're getting. So I do think that a lot of brands have not released a lot, and I think that they have a lot of beautiful creations ready. I don't know when they're going to put out those fragrances, but I do expect for some masterpieces to be released, and I think that they have had time on their hands to put some time and some effort, and I do almost expect some of these companies like Le Bon to put out some beautiful fragrance releases. And I don't want to spoil the review, but the La Lique is going to come a little bit under fire from me. Even though I do like the House of La Lique, it's not about Encre Noir. It's about something else. I'm not going to spoil the. Well, it's about Encre Noir in a way, but in a different way. We'll talk about it. They're going to come under fire a little bit, but I do like the fragrance. I do like the house. I do respect La Lique a lot. Let's see. Do you think people stop caring about how they smell? I don't know. A lot of people are taking it easy, and a lot of people are dressing casually. That's for sure. I don't know. Caring about how you smell. A lot of people do wear them for compliments and do wear them for other people. Don't you think? I don't think. I think people are not buying. They're not buying fragrances necessarily because they're not around other people. Maybe they are. Maybe they're only buying fragrances because they're just going to be around other people, but also because they can't even get to the store the stores a lot of the times, and a lot of the times they can't they can't go to the boutiques or the malls to buy these fragrances. So I think that's really the bigger thing that's slowing them down. But Jamie says good niche masculine summer fragrance. Masculine and a summer fragrance. One of them definitely is Armaf Boise Luxura. It's supposed to be a clone of Fahrenheit Summer, I believe it is. If you're looking for something on the cheap, it has actually a better presentation than I really expected, and it's really quite nice. So definitely check that one out. Lalique Pour Homme always works all seasons, anywhere, anytime. The original Lalique Pour Homme, fantastic. I'd probably put you in that direction for if you're looking for something affordable. But if you're looking for niche, I'm trying to think of there's Galloway. I talked about that. There's Whetstone by Amora Oud. Trying to think what else is there out there that would work in the summer. Let's see. What was it? Oh, Zizon Ormond Jane. I don't know if you can still get that one. I think that one's an exclusive now. If that one's one of the best masculine summer fragrances, if you're looking for that masculine feel. What was that called? Sushi Imperial. It has a little bit of sweetness to it, but still kind of masculine. That one's great from Boise 1920. I like their Patchouli Extreme. So, anyways, there's some stuff out there. I have some list. We won't focus too much on that, but feel free to message me on Instagram. I can get you some more suggestions. Have you kept up with Suga Parfums? I have not bought any or gotten my hands on any more of their samples or anything like that. Have they been releasing some new exciting fragrances? On the road, can't really chat. That's okay, Fritz. Feel free to chime in and comment whenever you can or whenever you'd like. And you can listen to me like a podcast if you'd like. So that's perfectly fine. Casey says, hey, Fritz, drive safe. Yeah, drive safe. Don't drive one-handed if you can. So Fiero is nice. Fiero, yes, from Casamorati. That one is for sure. It has a little bit of that petroleum leather vibe going on for sure. A little bit rugged. I think that he said, I remember him. I watched a live on Instagram with I forget his name. He's a good guy, the owner of the brand Zerzov, and he said it was supposed to capture like the smell of like the uniforms and maybe the leather of like some military maybe it was the Italian military. There was a certain smell of like leather that he was familiar with, and that feel, that confidence he wanted to associate with that fragrance. So it's definitely intended to be masculine. That's definitely a intention behind it for sure. So nice, yes, Fritz. Ronald says Mansara has great summer beast. Absolutely, they have their lemon lime line. What is that called? Oud lemon lime line. There's their Sicily. And of course, I always recommend Cedrop Boise if you want a mass appealing, affordable, a great value for your money. Always worth checking out, especially if you're first getting into niche. Casey says, agree with Mansara, fresh and light, good performance, lasts all the time. Yeah, and if you're wanting something more interesting, there's Hindu Kush, which everybody doesn't talk about. Judd the Stud says he's holding stop signs on the road. Who is? Who is Judd the Stud? Casey says Flore Santal is a good summer fragrance with performance. Yes, I don't know much about it, but I'm going to trust you. Casey says Eight and Bob. Oh, Eight and Bob does have some good ones. I really like their Egypt. Egypt was my favorite from them that I tried. There was that, what was that? Something Mervins or Mervins that a lot of people, I saw that they liked that one. Ronald says Oud Lemon Mint, Cedrop Boise, and Sicily. Absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking. Those are some great ones. I'm sure that they have some other one. That was it Montal? There was like a Blue Lagoon. There was some weird ones. Anyways, but those are the good. Those ones are great for sure. Hindu Kush smells like, yeah, it does. Yeah. You do have to be careful depending on where you live with that one. But that's why I was saying, if you want something more risky and more dangerous, it's surprisingly wearable and surprisingly versatile. For my fragrance of that, I have, I always say it wrong. So what is it called? Black. I'm going to have to look it up. Y'all are, it's killing me that I can't, I want to go over there and pull it out of my collection. It's from Artal Facto. Let me look it up here. It's Black Hashish. Yes, that is a great fragrance. I'm gonna talk about that one this fall and winter again. It's definitely gonna hit a top 10 list. That one is similar to Black Afghano. Some people say, but I prefer the Black Hashish. That is for sure. Anyways, let's talk about those new fragrance releases. Well, do be careful out there, my friends. Let's jump to the new fragrance releases. So, again, there's this new brand coming out called Megacosm. Very strange name for a fragrance house. They're doing the upside down fragrances, like House of Oud. But anyways, this one's called Mars. It looks very fun. It has notes of blackcurrant, bergamot, mandarin orange, red apple, red rose, freesia, tea leaf, white wood, musk, leather, tonka bean, and patchouli. And again, this is called Mars. Looks very fun. Don't know where these are sold. I would like to get my nose on this house just because I think their bottles are kind of interesting and different, and see if they're worth, if they're worth trying, if they're good fragrances. So let's see. Ormond Jane does have a new fragrance coming out. Ormond Jane. Again, I don't want. I could act jaded. I wanted to get a bottle of it's gonna kick me. Maybe I tried to put it out of my memory because I didn't want to remember. Black Gold. I wanted to buy that fragrance so bad, and I messaged them because it seemed like it'd been discontinued. I couldn't seem to find it anywhere, and they just ignored me. And anyways, but they have this new fragrance. This one's more of a floral fragrance. I don't know if you gents out there like masculine fragrances are going to go for this one. Orris, freesia, rose, pink pepper, black currant, jasmine, cashmere, and oak moss. Seems kind of simple, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty good. Ormond Jane puts out some pretty nice stuff. So let's see. Medlake Perfumes has a new fragrance out called Winter Melon. We'll talk about that in a second. Let me catch up with the comments. Anyone else gonna watch? Oh, the UFC fight. I'll have to check it out. No, I usually don't watch those kinds of things, but UFC is barbaric. From I don't want. I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything against boxing or fighting championships. I don't know. I don't want to put out my opinions on everything. I could share opinions on that, but I don't know. It's just not something that I usually watch. But I mean, I watch action movies. I mean, I've played plenty of video games in the past, so it's not a stranger to fighting stuff. But anyways, Melik Perfume is I don't know. Grantica's really given us all the notes. It just says melon, green leaves, orris root, violet, violet leaves, and violet. I guess the flower. Base notes of cacao and sandalwood. So does look nice. And a winter melon, like a cantaloupe type of smell. I'm sure that that one's going to be pretty good. So Guerlain has a new fragrance called Santal. How do you say this? Pois Rosa. This must be a new line that I'm not familiar with. Their bottles look different. I want to say I've seen this bottle design somewhere. Maybe it was like Abercrombie and Finch or something. I want to say I've seen this similar bottle design. But so sometimes you'll notice that some of these brands like Fragrance Du Bois and some of these companies will take the bottle designs. Probably the glass is probably coming out of the same factory. I don't know. Maybe you need to copyright your own glass design from, like Roger Dove. So, but anyways, this fragrance has just, Fragrantica is just telling us sandalwood, oud, myrrh, cardamom, fig, fruity notes. I'm sure it's going to have more than that behind it. And I'm sure that's going to be really good. I haven't been getting too excited about a lot of the Dior's or the Chanel's or the Guerlains, but this might be a nice one. This might be one that I'd want to try. Let's see here. Okay, no new comments. Anyways, are y'all excited for that one? That one looks pretty good. I think we'll get some noses and see some reviews. There's also Rose Sherry. I'm sure that'll be good as well. I'm excited to see Guerlain give us some new releases and throw some fist into the fight. I think that put out some new releases and get some eyeballs on them. I feel like Guerlain always doesn't release enough and doesn't get enough support or enough limelight. I don't know. Maybe they sell just as well as Dior Chanel, but in the Frag commerce, as far as I can tell, they don't seem to be as popular. So there's a new fragrance from, I forget what collection this is. This was their, was it No, it wasn't Portraits. It was like Library or something like that. It's in one of their older style bottles, which they've re-released, and they have this matte finish on it. Interesting. It's called Silver Oud. Again, this is Amouage. And Cécile Sorokian is the nose, and y'all know that she's becoming a big master perfumer, very popular, being hired on lots of projects and lots of fragrances. And this one has notes of cypriol oil, Virginia cedar, patchouli, oud, Madagascar vanilla, gaiac birch, castoreum, amber. The notes don't seem too special, but that combination could be very interesting. It might go metallic. I'd have to see what that fragrance smells like and how it comes through. Again, there's supposed to be some birch oil, so it could be smoky. Looks very interesting for sure. So smoky fragrance lovers, keep an eye out for Silver Oud by Amouage. That might be one that you want to try. So let's see if there's anything else new that's interesting so far. Meditarosa. If you're not familiar with this house, they're a niche house that's actually been around for a little while, and they have a new one called Albatross. Oh, this is going to be an aquatic fragrance. There's a little bit of pineapple snuck up in here. Watery notes, ozonic notes, anise, wood, Moroccan cedar, Virginia cedar, Haitian vetiver, and the white musk. It looks mass appealing, looks likable. I like the little feather logo on the front. I like their bottle design. So that's Meditarosa. I hope that they don't disappoint with that fragrance. I want to get my nose on it. And we still all like the pineapple, even though we don't want to talk about Aventus anymore. At least I don't think a lot of us do. Let's see here. You should do cross industry collaborations, introduce frags to other niches, like they do with the watch community or the cigar community. What kind of community do you think I should mix things into a little bit? I don't want to scare anybody off, and I want to be friendly, but I do like knives, so I could do that of sorts. But I don't know what I would mix in to my fragrance reviews. Exactly. I respect watches, but I don't have a collection. I have one watch, and I just stick to that so far. Maybe in the future I'll have a couple more, but I have no intention really to get more than 5 watches. From five or so in the future. And I don't collect too many things besides knives and some outdoor stuff and fragrance. But let me know what I should get into. See, I think gourmand scents are very marketing gimmick. They never smell like food. Do you don't think any fragrances ever remind you of anything edible? You've never had that experience? Well, we'll have to see if we can't help you find one that works for you. Sometimes it is exaggerated that, some things don't smell exactly like a lemon meringue pie or smell exactly like, some kind of dessert. But I've smelled some things that come similar to like marzipan and some chocolatey desserts, like chocolate mousse and some things like that. Fritz the Cat says, I'd like to try Meleg's Deer Musk and Honey. Yes, Meleg does have some really well crafted fragrance. Again, he is more of a connoisseur of the classic and self trained, like classic complex fragrances, type of creator. He's been making some really good stuff. If you like Vogue or Rogue perfumery or stuff that has a little bit of a vintage flair, but complex and rich, he makes good stuff. So let's see here. Fritz the Cat says, try Mason Margiela Autumn Vibes. Warm, ambery, musky. Wife liked it. I'll have to get my nose on that one. I don't know if I've tried that one from Mason Margiela. They do have some nice fragrances, that's for sure. Casey says, you should do collaborations with other communities. Don't need to be an expert. You go on. Oh, so I go on other people's channels. Well, I guess I have to have a big enough audience for them to want to, to have the intermingling of audiences. I'd have to be big enough to do that. I don't know. I guess I could, but I don't know. I like food channels, but like cooking and all, grooming scene too much. I have to see what I can do. I thought Aramis Tobacco Reserve absolutely amazing. Yes, that is a great one. Yes, if you and very confident. Some people would say masculine, perhaps. And Tobacco Reserve. Yes, from Aramis. Fritz the Cat says kerosene does a great gourmand realistic. I did love Blackmail. Blackmail blew me away. I do want to get a couple more from the House of Kerosene for the price. For what they are, Kerosene is a pretty good house. I do recommend you getting some samples and seeing if you like them. I do think that their prices and for what you get are pretty good for sure. So let's see if there's any other new fragrance releases, anything fun or interesting. I think we've gone over most of it. And again, I am excited about some of these. We have some fun new fragrance releases. Latafa, some of them are really good values. We'll have to see when or if I get my nose on it, but they have a new one from Latafa called Oud Al Sahara. Let's look at the notes. No, the Fragrantica is not telling us enough of the notes. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more going in this fragrance than just oud, amber, and woodsy notes. So Fragrantica sometimes doesn't give you a lot of the notes or any of the notes that are really in the fragrance. So there's some other fragrances out there that are popping out, I'm sure. And there's let me know if y'all want me to talk about celebrity fragrances. Though I'm not against them, but they usually aren't my thing exactly. Like I see that there's one called Provocative or Prerogative from Britney Spears, and some of these that I haven't tried, especially the feminine celebrity fragrances. I tried to get my nose on quite a few of them, but especially in the past, only a few of them have been good to me. Only most of them, not so much. Oh, there is Chipmunk by Zoologist. I almost forgot to mention that. I think that came out fairly recently. Chipmunk, are y'all excited about that one by Zoologist? I do think Zoologist makes some great fragrances, but again, for me, I don't know. Chameleon was a really good idea, but for me personally, the animal has to seem kind of exotic or kind of distant. And I guess chipmunks to a lot of people, maybe you've never seen a chipmunk. Maybe chipmunks are rare or uncommon for you. But for me, chipmunks are not. I've seen plenty of chipmunks, and that to me, they're not rare or anything like that. To me, again, I really want to see Zoologist, and I look forward to whenever if he decides to make a zebra or whale. And those are some ideas that I've thought of, and those would be really fun. Or platypus, some like more interesting, unique creatures or animals out there. So let me know. I know that chipmunks are cute to a lot of people, so maybe that's some of the appeal, to the fragrance. But let me know what you think. Should I guess maybe he's going with cute animals, cute things. I don't know. So let's see here. Oh, there's a new Tom Ford coming out called Ebene Fume. Is that how you say it? I don't even know. And maybe this one's been out for a little while, not really sure, but let me read you the notes. And I'm glad that I saw this because the notes look good. I do have to say that the notes look promising. Santo, violet leaf, incense, black pepper, labdanum, papyrus. Ooh, love that papyrus rose combo. Then we got this cave, that smoky leather vibe, and we got more leather. Already liking it. Then you give us ebony. It's already interesting enough. A little bit of guaiac wood, a little bit of resins for some depth and some body. I'm liking the look of this. Ebene Fume. So I want to get my nose on this one. It's supposed to have like a burning incense and like incensey wood type of vibe about it. So I don't usually get excited about Tom Fords. Some of them, some of them are likable but short-lived. Like Lost Cherry, not only did I not like the longevity, it smells pretty decent, but Lost Cherry never things. Some of those like that never got me excited. This one does. This one, Ebene Fume. I do want to get my nose on that one for sure. Let's see if there's anything else. Is there anything that has caught your eye recently, my friends? Let's see if there's anything that I missed. But let me see down here, and then I'll catch up with the comments here. If there's any fragrances that look exciting to y'all that y'all have on your buy list or your try list, or anything that you would recommend to me, I'd love to have your suggestions. Again, Winter Melon from Meleg Perfumes looks really nice. The new Guerlains, I'm excited about those. We got an Amouage. We got some strong brands putting out some interesting stuff. There's a new fragrance. I didn't see this one at first. There's a Guerlain. It looks like a re-release, or maybe it's a new twist on a older DNA. Not exactly sure. I'm not the most versed in. I want to get more experienced and learn a lot more about their history. But K-Dine it looks to me like a re-release, but it's a new fragrance from them, Guerlain K-Dine. It's in a fancier presentation. I don't know if that looks like something that'd be a boutique exclusive. I don't know when you're going to be able to get that or where you're going to be able to get that. But let me know if you'd like me to read you the notes. You can find it on Fragrantica. It's not too hard to find. The notes are kind of simple, but maybe they'll pull out some magic for us. Maybe they'll pull out some magic. So yeah, they say it's a re-edition, a reinterpretation. To me, it looked like that. I made a good assumption at least. Supposedly it was released in 1911, the original, like 110 years ago. And they decided to give it a birthday and like a re-release. So if you love vintage fragrances, again, I don't know how modern it'll be. I can't promise you anything like that. I don't know how vintage it will be. If it's if it's exactly like the original. I've never smelled the original or anything. The remnants, the bones, the the carcass, the leftover pieces of the original. But anyways, might be worth checking out, especially if you're a Guerlain connoisseur. So let's see. Matt says, Ben, have you tried the two Hard Rock Cafe fragrances? I have not. Should I? Is this something I need to know about? The male is mundane, but the female is excellent and could pass for unisex. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to see where I can get it and what kind of price it. That might be something fun. Some people have really fond memories of Hard Rock Cafe. I've never. I don't know if I've ever been to one. I think I might have it at Disneyland or something in passing, like I saw one, but I don't think I've ever eaten there. I don't know if the food's particularly good, but I hear a lot of people have had good memories about that place, and it seems to be very iconic. Again, I'm from a smaller southern town, and that's something I didn't even know about until I was like a teenager. I didn't even know stuff like that existed. So I'm like, I guess you could say the boonies of the sticks. So, anyways, I do want to go there. It'd be fun to try. I don't know if their food's particularly good. Maybe you go there for the atmosphere. I really don't know. But John Massey, good to see you pop in here, my friend. We're actually covered most of the material tonight. Again, feel free to ask questions and add a little bit of your thoughts and your feelings and everything else. Making good sense says, have you um, smelled Materi? Who makes that fragrance? I'm not exactly sure which one you're talking about there, my friend, but let me know. I might not have, but you'll have to let me know. Anyways, any questions? What fragrances are on your buy list? What have you been interested in? What's been looking good to you? I'm gonna get some new, fragrance reviews your way. Of course, I actually have had quite a few reviews building up for y'all of some fragrances that might be better for the fall and the winter. So I'm excited to share it. But I do have a couple fragrances that are going to be a little bit, but eventually we're pretty soon here in the next week or so, we're going to start keeping up on the fall fragrances for sure. Have you smelled Material and Boundless? From Amouage. If so, is there a preference? I'm actually honestly, and I do want to try them, but honestly, I haven't tried them yet. I'd like to say that I have, and I'd like to give you a review. And I do love the House of Amouage, but honestly, I have to tell you that I haven't tried either. Some people have criticized or been confused that, in the past there was a feminine and a masculine version, for each fragrance. Maybe this is Amouage's way of testing the waters with, do people actually want a men's and a women's version of fragrances? There's been a lot of people have complained because, it's very trendy to think or to say, all fragrances are unisex. And of course, anybody and everybody can wear whatever the heck they want. But it's not exactly a bad idea, or it's not offensive, at least to me, that you would make a fragrance that might be more, I don't know, more interesting to certain types of people. So to me, that's not exactly a terrible idea. Is it the most politically correct? No. But is it bad? I don't think it's hurtful or anything like that. But anyways, I'll have to try them and see how different they are, if one actually does feel masculine or not. But again, those are essentially supposedly the men's and the ladies version of the same fragrance. But you're not going to get a Boundless, y'all know what I'm saying. Hopefully I'm making sense. There's not a Boundless for men. There's not a Material Man for women. Those are the two kind of together. So Chad says, in deep with Louis Vuitton. Oh, you got deep into the Louis Vuitton. Some people have really been excited, and I've been surprised that so many people have gotten really excited about the Louis Vuitton fragrances. You're grabbing Cactus Garden or On the Beach next. I own Afternoon Swim. About 7 others. Oh, you have quite a bit of them. What do you guys think about Cactus Garden or On the Beach? I don't think I got my nose on the beach, but I have tried Cactus Garden. Cactus Garden's decent. It's refreshing. It's fairly realistic to smelling like cactuses. I think I've either recorded a review or I've released it. I'd have to double check if I've released it yet. Anyways, decent, pretty good. But again, I don't know. I don't want to beat up on Louis Vuitton, but as I've said at the end of most of my reviews of their fragrances, I think that they're too expensive for what they are. If they were selling their fragrances for about a 150, if they were doing their recycle green kind of initiative and giving people refills for like $100 odd, I would be happy with the brand. But when they charge, what was it last time? What was it last time I looked? 200, what was it 250 or 280, something like that. And their fragrances aren't very natural to me. They're not very deep or complex, most of them. And I mean, are they using some of them high quality synthetics? Yeah. Sure. Do they have a master perfumer behind? I think I think most of their fragrances are made by really high level perfumers. Yeah, but the ingredients that they're giving you, to me, I just don't care for that. And anyways, let's see here. I don't hate gender marketed fragrances, but it's up to the nose. Yeah, it's definitely up to the individual. It's definitely up to the individual. Is it old fashioned? To some people, it is to market fragrances that way, and more brands. And Waj is one of the last companies that really does that at all. Are there still going to be at your local mall probably sections for marketed for one or the other, probably, but eventually I guess that's gonna go away, and we're gonna have fragrances that are I guess that don't smell particularly one way or the other. I don't know. Versatile everyday fragrances. I've been on here for over an hour. It says my connection is unstable. Okay, hopefully I didn't get disconnected. Hopefully I'm back. But yeah, if the price doesn't bother you and you like refilling your bottles, I mean, you get a discount. So maybe you go to Louis Vuitton. I don't. I don't think I've ever been to a Louis Vuitton store. They probably would look at me like I don't belong there. Probably don't. So far. Let's see. Casey says Hard Rock Cafe is terrible. Makes only Applebee fine dining. So unhealthy. Well, does it taste good? I might give it a try if it tastes good. I don't know. But I hear you, Casey. It's probably not fine dining. And again, I don't think I've ever had fine dining in my entire life. I've never had a meal that was like $50 or more. I don't think I've ever had that in my entire life. In my city, unless you get like a huge family like deal or go to like a fancy sushi place where you get like a big pot, like a family celebration meal, we don't have anything that's really fine dining in my entire city. So I'd have to travel to actually even get something like that. I don't have any Louis Vuitton. 165 for a refill. That's better than 80 or whatever. I hear you. 165 for a refill is quite a lot. I don't know. For your money, again, I've kind of beat up on Killian. Why not go for the Killian? Killian Francis for the price. That might be more worth it. I don't know what's going on with my internet connection. It's kind of clicking out for me. So we might have to end this soon. Hopefully y'all aren't being disconnected or not lagging too much for y'all. But it's telling me on my end that my connection's unstable a couple times. I'm sorry about that. And again, I'm trying to get better internet, and I'm trying to get a real computer. Again, I've just been, most of my life, I've had cheap laptops, and I'd like to do editing. I don't want to, these laptops are so slow that it takes me like 2 hours or sometimes more if I want to compile a long video. So 2 hours, that's, that kind of eats up my time if I want to do anything else on the computer. So, or Bond number 9. Yeah, they're worth trying. Or Jimmy Choo, they're worth trying. See if you like them. Easy on the ears says, I hope they don't get rid of that. They might. Casey says, with shopping malls still exist in 5 years. In major cities where people are likely to buy something, in major big cities, there'll still be some shopping areas, but in smaller cities and other places, there's going to be fewer and fewer of them. Are there still going to be airport boutiques? I don't think that those are going to go away anytime soon, like duty free airport fragrances and luxury goods and all that. I don't think that's going to disappear anytime soon, but you getting possibly even designer fragrances at your local mall might be gone. That might be gone soon. And then you might have to, yeah, it's a little choppy, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm sorry about the connection, guys. I'm sorry. But would have to make it a triple refill, a trip to refill. Yeah, can you just ship in your bottle? Can you just ship in that bottle to Louis Vuitton and they'll refill it for you and will they send it back? Do you have to come in person to actually get that refill? Do you actually have to show up in person or can you ship it to them? It's crazy. Chat says, dude, time to go to New York and live it up, man. I love to do that, but I don't have that kind of money. Maybe one day I can have a little bit of success and be able to afford, even to do something like that once in my life. I've never done anything like that. So Kenny says, Jacques Cavalier is the Louis Vuitton parfumeur. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name exactly, but yeah, is that how you say his name? I'm sorry, I'm probably saying it wrong, but Jacques Cavalier, fantastic perfumer. Y'all know that he is a master of his craft. So Chad R says, thanks for the live. I could pop in. Yeah, thanks for having some fun, hanging out with me, having a good old time. And I hope that everybody got to share their fragrances, that they got to share what they're interested in, what's on their buy list, what they want to buy, ask me questions that they're interested in, and that you had a feel and that you were able to have a sense of community, because that's also a big part of this and why I do these lives, that you're able to have a sense of community and friendship with each other, that we're all interconnected and that we're all friends with each other. Hope that definitely is here, with some friendship. Use the direct Ethernet. I do need to do that, but I don't have where I'm set up here. I actually don't have that. I'm not in the situation where I'm able to at the leisure, to drill holes in the wall to get that cord through the wall. But I would do that if I could. It does make it a much more reliable connection. You're absolutely right, and I will try to do that in the future. Right, chat. Your choice, Meander or Enclave. Enclave is more mass appealing, but I think Meander is a little bit more interesting for me personally. Again, I don't want to beat up on any house in particular, and again, I'm gonna have a lot of mixed feelings, if not a little bit of criticism for a lot of big brands. And Waj, Nishane is going to get a taste of it. I still love you, Amouage and Nishane. Leak's going to get a little bit here coming up. Again, I'm a real critic. I'm a real reviewer. I'm not all daisies and roses. All fragrances, they can be amazing. You can love them, but they're not always perfect, and there always is room for improvement. And you'll definitely be getting some of my thoughts and my feelings and my opinions on things like that coming up soon. I personally am not in. I think Meander's good, and I can see why some people might really love it, but I haven't. I personally didn't love. Again, if other people like it, if other people enjoy it, I mean, hey, maybe more power to Amouage, and maybe they're selling a lot more fragrances, but maybe people are enjoying Amouage because they're a little bit more likable and mass appealing now, because a lot of their newer fragrance releases are a little bit more trendier on that side of things. But for me personally, what I liked about Amouage was their incense, was their unique flair. Some of their fragrances were risky. Some of them didn't work for me. Like I respected Journeyman, but I don't know if I'd ever wear it. So I love Jubilation 25. Some people, I loved it. And there's some people who really love it, but some people who don't like it. Reflection Man is a little bit simple for me, but is very likable. So they've had a little bit, of some, I guess, more challenging fragrances and some more likable. But I don't know when we're going to get another risky or complex Amouage fragrance in the future. I don't know when we're going to get that. And I hope that they don't throw just a basic rose oud fragrance, maybe with some spice or something else thrown in it. If that's what they're going to give us for their complex, risky fragrance, I still respect Amouage, but I'm just not going to be, so as excited about them going forward as I have been. So, Ben, how did you get interested in frags? How old were you? I was in college when I got interested in fragrances. Again, it's just a funny story. I wasn't raised around too many fragrances and around a culture or perfumer fragrances or anything like that. And I don't know. I always wanted to try things. I'm always a very curious person, and I was looking for some clothes at the mall. I actually was looking, going for the discount section to save money, and I just saw the fragrances, and I said, I've never tried these. I've never been, have never had access, or never had much of an opportunity to ever try these. As a kid, I never really got to go to the mall and hang out at the mall, anything like that. So I just said, hey, I'm going to take 30 minutes or something and just try out all these fragrances. And I found them really fun, interesting. And then I wanted to start watching fragrance reviews and learn a little bit more. And I bought a couple fragrances like Versace Pro and Polo Red were some of the first fragrances I ever bought. Paid full retail, didn't know better, but still was a good experience. And I got into looking at the cheapies and started watching fragrance reviews, and then I wanted to know more and try more and more, and here we are down the hill or up the hill. I don't know. Maybe we're going in a good direction. So let's see here. Trip to New York for fine dining. Hey, I'd love to do that, Chad. That'd be fun. Sorry, almost missed some of the comments. Thanks for the live. Glad you could pop in. Yes, Chad, very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Is Jimmy Choo any good? Some of their fragrances don't have good performance, but some of them are likable. If you can get them for a big, steep discount, get them on the cheap. Maybe if you're a TJ Maxx or Ross shopper, do look out for the Jimmy Choos. Some people speak really highly of like Jimmy Choo Ice. It does have a really likable opening. It's really likable off the top, but it has very poor performance. But, might be nice if you want something refreshing. Some of the Jimmy Choos are like that. Like there's an indigo one that some people say smells really good, but doesn't last. Indigo. Anyways, let's see. Jimmy Choos. Bleecker Street is nice for Bond number 9. Yeah, that's one of their better ones. That one's fun. It's pretty likable too. Very synthetic, but the Frag. Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually a nice way to get into niche. It's a little bit more, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's risky or daring or challenging or anything like that. But it's a little bit more whimsical. It's got that grass and that blueberry note. It's not hard to wear. It's just a little bit different. And happy that you got into niche fragrances because of it. It's that's fun. Casey says Jimmy Choo is all about women's shoes. I think so. Some of these brands seem to focus, on what sells and what does really well for them. I guess Jimmy Choo does really well selling women's shoes. I've never bought anything Jimmy Choo or a lot of luxury brands or anything, and I don't know when I will. But Matt says I like Jimmy Choo's mass appealing extraordinary bottles too. I don't have one in my collection so far, but I might have to try to get one, and I might have to try to review more of them. So Chad R says, and a refill. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go to New York and get a refill on your Louis Vuitton while you're at it. Chad says, I'm jumping off. Okay. Well, it was good to see you again, Chad. Matt says, Ben, how did you get? I read that. I answered that. Enjoy your Saturday Night Lives. Good discussion. Thank you, Ken. I'm glad that you do. Again, I feel like this is something that's needed in the fragrance community, that you can sit down and have more of an honest, open, face-to-face interaction. And again, I'm very open like this. And again, I say this not to try to tear down other fragrance reviewers. Again, some people, I don't want to get into the whole fragrance style and all that discussion again, but I genuinely don't know which fragrances some of these fragrance reviewers actually like and they actually wear. And I don't know what is actually their favorites. I don't know when or actually where they actually possibly wear any of these fragrances. And I'm even more down to earth where, I'm telling you all these details. So I think, in my opinion, that's worthwhile. Maybe that doesn't get you the YouTube clicks. Maybe that doesn't get you the YouTube views. I don't know. But to me, that's what I look for, is that authenticity and that genuine type of expression. If I watch a couple videos and I don't know what you actually like and what you actually feel, and you're just giving me buzzwords or quick top 10 stuff, and you don't seem to understand the fragrance or I don't know. Some of these people, again, I'm trying to encourage the fragrance community, but some people do need to improve their game. Either add a lot of personality or learn about fragrances, because some people. And again, I don't know everything. I'd certainly, especially in regards to the history of fragrances and a lot of stuff like that, like vintage fragrances. Like I don't know a lot. I know a little, but I don't know much. Meander says, is Meander is the weakest amouage, unlike any of the others, very soft. Yeah, it is. They definitely tried to go easy on that one because it was a little bit smoky. They didn't want to make it so bold, so they made it a little bit lighter. So let's see here. Catch up with the comments. Get 40 knots this week. 40 knots, yes, by Zerzhov, if I remember right. That one's fun. Ivory Root is pretty fun as well. This week, 170 for a 100 mil tester. That's a pretty darn good price there, my friend. Ben, you got a deal. Hope that you like. Let me know how it goes. Fritz the cat says there. Yes. Mike says, how do you feel about Black Iris? I actually haven't got my nose on it. I need to. Again, it sounds bad, but there's hundreds and thousands of fragrances out there, and I've been keeping myself very busy. But some of these that are more popular and people have talked about pretty quickly, because sometimes people talk about it, sometimes I get around to it. Eventually, I'm kind of doing my own thing, and I guess that's the attitude I like to do. And Waj lost the plot some years ago. Yeah, I don't want to tear down at Waj. I think that they're losing some of their character to try to be more mass appealing. They're sacrificing a little bit of their identity. I don't think that they've gone completely off the deep end, but they still have some of their atars, and they still have some of their fragrances. I think that they sell only in the Middle East for their clientele. So they're still appealing to their, the people who love those styles of fragrances. But as far as their other, I guess international releases, I'm not connecting to them as much, but I'm sure that they're selling. I'd be interested to see how well they're selling compared to the others. So agreed. I had some vintage non-magnetic cap and wages way better than their stuff today. Yeah, I've heard that they watered them down quite a bit, and they used to be a lot stronger, and that's a shame for sure. Moschino Toy Boy, thoughts, Ben? I smelled it today. I need to get a bottle and fully review it. It's fine. It's just not something I'm really interested in, but it's fine. But I really don't want that teddy bear in my collection. I know it's something funny to say, but I just don't care for that bottle, and I wouldn't want to be associated. If somebody gave me a compliment, be like, "What are you wearing?" And I'd be like, "Well, I'm wearing Toy Boy," and be like, to me, it's not something I want to be associated with too much. So I don't know. Maybe I should give it more of a chance, but I know some people really loved it and some people hyped it. It's supposed to be a really good designer release, but I'll try to get my nose off, y'all. Ronald says, I can hear you, Ben, but the video is gone. Really? My webcam is still on. I can see it's connected. I can still see myself. I'm so sorry that it's messing up. What are your favorites for you? Maybe you need to refresh the page. Hopefully, everybody hasn't lost the connection on that. What are your favorites that you wear? I love Jubilation 25 by Amouage. Again, I talked about some of my favorites, but I don't know. I love my 24 Gold Oud edition. I buy and sell so much. I'm trying to look at my collection. Like, what have I been? Again, I don't even have. I've been keeping my collection under 100. I sample and try and move stuff and sell stuff so quickly. Sometimes I have to remember what I have in the collection anymore. Maybe that's what is happening with these reviewers. Maybe they're sampling and trying so much stuff, but again, they don't seem to talk about that new stuff too much. But Oud Leather by Montal has been really fun for me recently. Azar Wanted by Night is still a mass appealing beast of a fragrance that complements if that's what you want for a value for the money. For some people, yeah, it's synthetic and it's spicy, but yeah. I fell in love with. I'm looking at my collection over there. I'm like, which ones do I need to mention? Chiron by Tizian Terenzi, dream come true fragrance for me. If you've been wanting a salty black ambergris fragrance with a gourmand element, you like your salty fragrances, but you want it complex and deep and even dark, try out Chiron. It's a beast, and the performance is outrageous. So. Great fragrance, very expensive. It's one of the higher end Tizian Terenzis. I think it's like $400, but it kicked Hobdon out of my collection. But by Parfums de Marly, it kicked it out the door, and I never thought that would happen. So I love Top Gun, but when you find something even better, I'm not going to keep redundant things. If things are too similar for me, they're not the same fragrance. But if they do something similar for me, it feel a similar way. I don't need the same. I don't need the same thing. See, what are your? Somebody told me I'd have no idea, Casey. I'm not going to get into politics too much either. I have no idea what Joe Biden or any of these people wear for their fragrances. I don't know what Trump is wearing. I don't know who Hillary Clinton's wearing. I have no idea.